Hi guys, it's Core Collapse Katie here. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be telling you my story in a Draw My Life style. Just thought I'd check in since it's coming up to my expiration date. I'm a massive star, somewhere between 11 and 40 to 50 times the mass of the Sun. I'm much bigger than all my other star friends. The teasing is endless. What makes us stars shine so bright and light in the night sky is the energy and light we give off as we burn fuel in our cores and shells. All of my other star friends, which are much smaller, just burn hydrogen, or if they're a little bit bigger, burn helium in their cores, the most inner layer. But me, I'm hotter at my core, so I can carry out reactions producing much heavier nuclei. My friend, the brown dwarf star, can't even burn any hydrogen. He's just not hot enough. But my slightly larger red dwarf star friend burns hydrogen to helium. So yeah, as I said, I can burn much more heavier elements than the others. How, I hear you ask? Well, first I've got to tell you about the two main forces which keep me in place. Gravity pulls my matter in towards my centre, but an outwards pressure force from all the fuel I'm burning keeps me from falling in against this gravity. As I said, unlike the other smaller stars, I can burn all kinds of fuel, not just hydrogen or helium. It's actually, in fact, my greater mass which allows me to do this. At my centre, the temperature is super hot. This allows the reactions involving heavier nuclei to occur. The layers surrounding my inner core aren't so hot. In fact, going outward towards my surface, the temperature gets colder. My structure is divided into a series of shells, each burning different fuel types. I have so many layers. I'm basically an onion. The layer on my outside burns hydrogen, the lightest element, just like most of the other stars are burning. As I said, I'm coming towards the end of my fuel burning days. Sometime in the near future my inner core will run out of fuel. The outwards pressure forces that usually hold me together against gravity will no longer be strong enough. I'm going to catastrophically collapse towards my centre. The rate at which I do this will be super speedy, 700,000 kilometers per second in fact. That's 150 times as fast as a rocket at top speed. I'm nervous. At the beginning of my collapse, I only have 1 second of my life remaining. All that collapsing is going to make my insides super hot. These really high temperatures at my core break apart the heavy nuclei within it. This is, for the most part, iron. My core gets really compacted at this stage. Particles called protons and electrons combine to form neutrons in my core. In this process, there's a massive amount of particles called neutrinos produced. They're really lightweight, so lightweight in fact that up until recently scientists actually thought that they didn't have any mass at all. When I produce these massive amounts of neutrinos, lots of energy is released, and this carries away from my hot core. Thank God, because it would be getting super hot by this point. Release of this energy actually cools my core. This allows gravity to squeeze my matter in towards my centre again. Great, I'd be all hot and bothered once again. So my core would now be in a super compressed state. The protons and neutrons in my core would be so close and within each other's personal space, which they hate. They actually would now repel each other with a super strong force, which we actually call the strong force. At the inner part of my core will be the strongest repulsion. This will send out a giant shockwave, sending out my infalling material outwards. Remember those really light neutrinos I told you I will produce? They will be the real star of the show at this point. Pardon the pun. A small fraction of these neutrinos actually will get trapped in the outgoing shockwave. They will make the shockwave much stronger in fact. There's so much energy in my shockwave that I'll be able to create all kinds of new elements, even heavier than iron. In the maiden stage of my lifetime, I'm just not hot enough to produce them. I'll spend a couple of hours generating these new elements until the shockwave reaches my surface. Here, it will expel stellar material and all the new elements I've just made into space. This creates a beautiful explosion into space. Actually, some of the processes involved in my explosion are not actually very well understood by scientists on planet Earth. They have been working really hard to uncover my mysteries, but still haven't quite solved it yet. Hopefully one day we'll find out. So that just about concludes my brief insight into my life as a massive star and soon to be core collapse supernova. Leave comments down below if you have any questions or want to find out more.